What's up YouTube, this is LDS Reliance. Today I wanted to talk about a product that I really am excited about. This is a power meter that measures DC voltage and current that has Bluetooth and smart capabilities in it. This is from Thornwave Labs, which is the same company that I reviewed a product a while back called the NT-C14. So the model of this product is BT-DCPM. They don't have a ton of products yet. The creator of this product, his name's Raz. I've worked with him for several months, maybe even close to a year now, I guess. But really smart guy. He used to work in Silicon Valley, and now he's on his own. He's developing really innovative, cool products. So definitely check them out. What this is, it's a very small, and I was very surprised at how small it is. Very small device that you can mount in your solar system or in your RV or wherever you are consuming power that you want to keep track of things. This will measure voltage, current, watt hours consumed, all those types of things very easily. Basically, you just put wires in these little connectors here, screw them down on the top, and put it down into the device like that. And you're basically good to go. Now these connectors right here are for current, for measuring current. There is an internal shunt inside here that can handle up to, I believe, 60 amps. But you can also wire in an external shunt. It's very, very flexible and powerful. I'll get into some of the features and some of the ways that you can use this, but there's a whole lot more that you can do with it. A lot of my subscribers are primarily interested in solar, so we'll go ahead and use that as the example here, and we'll hook it up to something I have out in my solar shed so I can show you what this does. Now, the way that you use this, obviously it doesn't have any LCD screen or anything like that on it. You use this with your smartphone or your tablet or some other Bluetooth-enabled device. So they have an app on the Google Play Store and the Apple Store called PowerMon, but basically once it's connected, then you just use your phone or your tablet to keep track of the usage and stuff like that. Usually Bluetooth devices don't have a very good range. This thing actually has a really good range. I've used this thing almost 80 feet away through multiple walls in my house. This product can drive a relay. You can use this in an RV, for example, if you wanted to isolate batteries. If you wanted to buy a dedicated product like that, it would probably cost you $100. This thing only costs about $60 or $70. And a lot of these other products, they're certainly not going to have Bluetooth. This device also has low voltage and high voltage disconnect, which are very useful also. So anyway, all of these features packed into a very small, very well built, it's very well sealed. All of these features packed into this one device would cost hundreds of dollars. Just by itself as a current meter, this is worth buying. And so that's why I was really attracted to this product and why I'm really excited about using it, and hopefully some of you guys will pick this up. So let's talk about a real world example here. I have a system set up here with a 12 volt battery. I've got the power meter right here wired up and connected, and we'll go over that in a second. And I have a charge controller over here, which is basically just managing the load from the battery. The load is going to be this 12 volt fan on the side of my battery bank. So if you turn it on, it's just a small server fan basically I repurposed for this use. So let's talk about how this thing is wired. You'll notice that there's a jumper here, and that is so that it will activate the internal shunt. So disregard that, but it is important. If you're going to use the internal shunt like we are here, you do need to jump these two pins, and that's in the manual. These two wires here are measuring voltage. So this is the positive wire, this is the negative wire, and it goes to the battery and it measures the battery voltage. These two wires right here go through the internal shunt and measure the amps that are going through, or the current that is going through the shunt. And so that would be our load, the load that's on the battery. And like I said, if you're going to use a relay, there's a pin on there, actually two pins on there that you can use a relay. You can also use an external shunt if you want to measure a higher amount of current. So for this simple demonstration, that's really all the wiring we need to do. Okay, so the first thing that happens is it will scan and look for devices, and so you can have lots of these devices if you want to measure different voltages, different currents for different loads or different systems or whatever you have. So we will choose this one. This is the only one I have connected currently, and you can name it. I've called mine bat fan for short, battery fan. So we will select that one, and then in real time it will populate these different statistics here. So we've got, sorry we can't really see my whole screen at once. We've got voltage, so my battery bank right now, I do have a solar panel connected here, so this is a little higher than normal battery voltage, although it is overcast outside. But it gives you the voltage. You can have another voltage that you're reading if you would like. I don't have one right now. These are the amount of amps that we're using, the current that we're using. These are the watts that were being used, so only 2.25 or so watts. This is a power meter. You can reset this, but basically it will just keep track over time of how many watt hours you're using. Same with the AH. It will, if you were using this for incoming voltage to a battery, for example, for charging an RV or something like that, this would calculate the amp hours for you of how many amp hours you're putting into the battery bank. It does give you the temperature, which is kind of nice. Power status, this is for the relay. So if you're going to use a relay with this, you can just push a button and trigger the relay from the comfort of your home or wherever you're at. It tells you how long the device has been running. It gives you the current date and the amount of time that this device has been powered and on. It gives you, I don't know if you can see that up there, but it does give you the dBm reading of how strong the signal is. And even inside my house, quite a ways away, it's still giving me, negative 90 to negative 100 dBm, which is just enough to still get the signal and so forth. The fact that you can control a relay remotely, you can monitor all these statistics. Now they don't have any logging capabilities currently, but that is possibly in the works for later. They can just update the firmware. You can come in here and you can update your device. I forget how to do it. About is where you go to rename the device. So there's the name right there. And I think it might be in configuration. No. Anyway, this is good to bring up though, because this is where you can change different parameters that you might be using. You can turn on and off the low voltage disconnect or the high voltage disconnect, or high current disconnect I should say. You can also do a factory reset if you forget how all the changes you made or whatever, or something gets out of whack. And I did have this happen once where it was showing me like 100 amps on the current, and that was my fault because I hadn't connected the jumpers yet on the device. I didn't read closely enough in the manual. So all you have to do is you either come in here and hold it down and zero out the current, and then try again. Obviously you need to turn the load off first. So if I want to come in here and zero the current, I just do that, and it's zeroed out, and now when I turn the load back on, it will be more accurate. Or you can come in here to configuration, and you can come down here and hit factory reset, which will set everything back to the way it came from the manufacturer, including removing your custom name and all that stuff. Anyway, just wanted to show this off a little bit. I'm going to be using this permanently in my solar panel system. If you're using an MPP charge controller, usually they'll have monitoring like this built in, but you usually have to use wired connection. You'll have to run Cat5 from your house, and you have to use a web interface and all that stuff. This is just a lot more handy if there's a load, or if you want to monitor your battery bank or whatever. Just pop open your cell phone and within seconds you're monitoring what's going on. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. If you're new to my videos and my channel, be sure to hit subscribe so you see more great content in the future.